How chronic stress damages women's hormones and health. You wake up already tired, not the kind of tired that comes from a late night, but a heaviness that feels baked into your bones. You push through the day anyway, work, family, obligations, the constant low hum of responsibility, telling yourself this is just what adulthood feels like. Your body starts changing in quiet ways. Sleep becomes shallow, your period shifts, weight redistributes, your patience thins, your mind feels louder. Doctors may tell you your labs look normal. Friends may tell you to relax. But something inside you knows this isn't just life being busy. It's your body under pressure for too long. Chronic stress is not an emotion, it's a biological state. When the brain perceives ongoing demand, psychological, physical, emotional, it activates the hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis, a command system designed for short-term survival. Cortisol and adrenaline are released to mobilize energy, sharpen focus, and keep you functioning. In brief bursts, this system is protective. It helps you meet deadlines, escape danger, respond to crises. But when stress becomes constant, the system never fully turns off. Cortisol stays elevated, feedback loops distort, the body remains on alert even when the threat is abstract, emotional, or long past. Women's bodies are particularly sensitive to this state because stress hormones don't operate in isolation. Cortisol directly interacts with estrogen, progesterone, insulin, thyroid hormones, and immune signaling. When cortisol is chronically high, the brain prioritizes survival over reproduction. Ovulation may be delayed or suppressed, progesterone production drops, menstrual cycles lengthen, shorten, or become unpredictable. This isn't dysfunction, it's adaptation. A body that perceives ongoing threat reallocates resources away from long-term processes like fertility and toward immediate energy needs. Over time, this hormonal reallocation affects more than the cycle. Cortisol influences blood sugar regulation by increasing glucose availability. When this signal is constant, cells become less responsive to insulin. Blood sugar fluctuates, energy crashes follow, cravings intensify. Weight gain, particularly around the abdomen, becomes more likely, not because of lack of discipline, but because cortisol encourages fat storage in visceral tissue, where energy can be accessed quickly in perceived emergencies. The body is preparing for danger that never quite arrives. Sleep is often one of the first casualties. Cortisol should peak in the morning and decline at night, allowing melatonin to rise and initiate rest. Chronic stress flattens this rhythm. Cortisol remains elevated into the evening. Falling asleep becomes difficult. Waking between 2 and 4 a.m. becomes common. Even when sleep duration is adequate, its quality is compromised. Without restorative sleep, hormonal repair processes weaken, creating a feedback loop that reinforces stress physiology. The thyroid gland, another key regulator of metabolism and energy, is also affected. Chronic stress can reduce the conversion of inactive thyroid hormone, T4, into its active form, T3. Cells receive less metabolic signal despite normal blood levels. Fatigue deepens, cold sensitivity increases, hair may thin, motivation wanes. These symptoms are often dismissed as aging or burnout, but they reflect altered endocrine signaling driven by prolonged stress exposure. Mood changes are not separate from this process. Estrogen and progesterone modulate neurotransmitters like serotonin, dopamine, and GABA. When stress suppresses progesterone or causes erratic estrogen signaling, emotional resilience declines. Anxiety intensifies, irritability rises, the ability to recover from emotional stress weakens. Women may feel emotionally reactive or numb, cycling between overwhelm and exhaustion. This is not a failure of coping, it's neuroendocrine chemistry under strain. The immune system also listens to stress. Short-term cortisol suppresses inflammation, but chronic exposure can dysregulate immune responses. Low-grade inflammation may increase. Autoimmune conditions, which disproportionately affect women, often coexist with chronic stress states. Inflammatory signaling further interferes with hormone receptors, making hormones less effective even when levels appear normal. The body receives messages, but they don't land. Digestive function shifts as well. Stress alters gut motility, blood flow, and microbiome composition. Bloating, constipation, diarrhea, or new food sensitivities can emerge. The gut plays a role in estrogen metabolism through bacterial enzymes that influence hormone recycling. When gut balance is disrupted, estrogen clearance changes, circulating levels shift. Symptoms appear far from their origin, making cause and effect difficult to trace. What makes chronic stress so damaging is not its intensity, but its duration. The body can handle acute stress remarkably well. It is prolonged activation without recovery that erodes hormonal harmony. And modern life is uniquely effective at creating this state. Constant connectivity, blurred boundaries between work and rest, emotional labor, financial pressure, caretaking roles, and the expectation to function without pause. None of this registers as danger in a conscious sense, but the nervous system doesn't require conscious permission to react. Over time, women adapt to this altered baseline. Fatigue becomes normal, irregular cycles become expected, anxiety becomes personality. The body recalibrates around stress, and the absence of balance stops feeling like absence at all. This normalization is what allows damage to progress quietly. It's also what makes recovery feel unfamiliar when it begins. Chronic stress does not mean the body is broken. It means the body has been listening too carefully for too long. Hormonal systems are designed to respond to input. Change the input, and the system responds. This is not instant, and it is not simplistic. Rest is not just sleep. Relaxation is not just intention. Restoring hormonal health requires reducing the signals of threat, physiological, emotional, metabolic, and increasing signals of safety, predictability, and nourishment. Understanding this reframes the narrative. Symptoms are not weaknesses, they are messages. Chronic stress damages women's hormones not because women are fragile, but because their bodies are deeply responsive. That responsiveness is not a flaw, it is a survival mechanism that has been overused. And when the system finally gets permission to stand down, to exhale, to restore rhythm, it often does exactly what it was designed to do all along.